How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man Nex here, and welcome back to another Game of Theories. Some of the best things about Game of Thrones has to be all the prophecies, foreshadowing and symbolism that's riddled throughout the entire story. It's enabled us to speculate and theorize almost endlessly about how we think things are going to play out, but we still haven't been able to solve the biggest mystery of them all. What is the end game for the Night King and his White Walkers? What's his plan for Westeros? Well, in today's video, I'm going to take things all the way back to the opening scenes of the very first episode, where I think we were left a major clue. In my first video on the Night King, the main focus was about my interpretation of the spiral symbol we saw left behind at the Fist of the First Men in Season 3. It was the same symbol that eventually resurfaced in Season 6 when we found out that the Children of the Forest created the White Walkers to fight for them during the invasion of the First Men 12,000 years ago. Many people have simply put this down to a form of symbolism that we've seen used by the showrunners on many occasions, but there is definitely a difference in the types of symbolism we've seen. One form is more of a suggestive visualization that seems to frequent with Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow, perhaps signifying how the two characters are connected and, more importantly, how crucial they are to the plot of the overall story. But then you have the other type that are physical symbols left behind by the White Walkers that serve an actual purpose. Whether they're messages, attempts at communication, or maybe even directions, one thing for sure is that they were intentionally laid out so that someone could find them. The conclusion of my previous Night King theory was that the spiral symbol was a message to the people of Westeros, that he still remembered what the Children of the Forest did to him, how they robbed him of his mortal life and tried to use him as a weapon of war. The spiral symbol was an identical match to the location where it all happened, and 12,000 years on, we see that the Night King was still fixated with that particular site. So where did it all go wrong? What caused the Children of the Forest and the Night King to become foes? This question only spawns a multitude of more questions. Why didn't the Children of the Forest unleash the power of the Night King upon the First Men while they were still at war? When they made their pact with the First Men, why didn't they mention anything about the White Walkers during their 4,000 years of peace before they were attacked by them? Why would the remaining Children of the Forest reside north of the Wall, knowing that the Great Others dwell in the land of always winter? We know so little about these two ancient races, but I can't help feeling like they hold all the answers. However, there is one other location that contains strong links to the Children, the Isle of the Faces on the God's Eye Lake. It's believed that it was here where their Greenseers conjured up the Hammer of the Waters to shatter the Arm of Dawn, then again with the same sorcery when they tried to flood the Neck. And out of anywhere in Westeros, they even chose this particular location to sign the pact with the First Men. What is the significance with this place? What powers are hidden on that isle? And if it is so important, then surely it would have been mentioned in the show by now, right? Well, what if it has? What if we missed possibly the biggest foreshadowing that we've ever seen on Game of Thrones? And wouldn't it be one of the greatest they've ever done by delivering it to us in the first scene of the first episode? I'm talking about the circular symbol found by Will of the Night's Watch. This is the only other physical symbol that has been intentionally laid out for someone to find, and it is no coincidence that Will, the only brother who saw it, was the only brother who was allowed to live from that ranging party. Before he was beheaded, that is. They wanted him to deliver a message and describe what he saw that day, which leads us to the million-dollar question: what does that symbol mean? The circle with the line through the middle represents the God's Eye. The heads that are on spikes dotted around the scene reflect the Isle of the Faces, and the one and only corpse they left intact just so happened to be a child that symbolizes the hierarchy of the children of the forest that reside there. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is where Bran is destined to travel to. It will be on that isle where he will be able to harness the true potential of his power. There is no way that Jojen, Meera, Hodor, Benjen, the Three-Eyed Raven, and Leaf and her comrades either risked or sacrificed their lives so that Bran can just travel back to Winterfell. If the Isle of the Faces contains the power to destroy the Night King, then it would make perfect sense that he would do everything he can to stop the people of Westeros from harvesting that power. Will Bran travel to the God's Eye and find a way to communicate with the Night King? Will it reveal to him the history and the missing pieces of the puzzle of what happened between the children of the forest and the Great Others? Or will this location be key to defeating the White Walkers? Is this where Bran will learn how to fly?
You're going to help me walk again?
You'll never walk again. But you will fly.
I just want to say thank you guys for checking out the video and for continuing to show your ongoing support. It'd be great if you could leave a comment below on your thoughts on the video and what you think the Night King's mission is. Could it be a simple quest for world domination, or is he out to achieve something more specific? And do you agree with my interpretation of what the circular symbol represents? As always, it's been a pleasure guys, so until next time, take it easy.